Hello, everybody. Mitchell here again with Streaming Consciousness. Welcome back. Good to see you. Uh, well, I can only see me at this point, in the video camera, but I guess it's good to be seen. Anyway, I wanted to throw out some ideas today. Um, it seems like I see a lot of people that are in high anxiety mode, and it's just been uh, really um, compounding since since the election. It's a big spike after COVID and during COVID actually, but wasn't seeing that many people. Um, and so I wanted to just kind of talk about that. Um, the big spike, I think, since the election has been that people uh, know something's wrong, something's amiss, but they can't put their finger on it. And so they're depending on news and media to be able to tell them what is going on. And I'm here to say that that's probably not the best resource for you. Um, One thing that I try to get to within the first 2 or 3 visits is a bit of a meditation. And the meditation, one thing about meditation, we also call it mindfulness, is that it is the opposite of mindfulness. It's mindlessness, and it's being okay with getting out of your mind, being okay to let the world and everything else happen as it's happening, and come inside, come into your own inner space, and be okay with being in the silence, with not doing. Sometimes it's just best to be silent and to be observant of the self. I do a meditation where we come deep into the chest area. You can come I bring them into the breath down by the solar plexus and the diaphragm. And you can go on to my site and get the tools there. But the reason we do that is to give ourselves, we bring our focus, our awareness inside, deeper inside, and away from the head space, the thinking space, at least for those who are beginners at meditation. We want to move away from the thinking space and move into just the silence of the body. Now, the body is always healing. The mind is always looking for problems. And so if we come inside, we move away from that problem creator. Uh, because the mind, if it doesn't have a problem to solve, it will create a problem so that it can go then solve that problem. So if we come inside and just sit in the silence, it's going to drive the brain crazy for a little while. And we've got to get past that. That's that monkey mind. And it's really only temporary. And by temporary, I mean that it only uh, it only lasts for the first maybe 500 times you go into meditation. The brain, the mind is very, very powerful, but it it does quiet down. And sometimes we can get past that in the first 2 or 3 times, just by really, really, really bringing our focus in and holding our focus deep inside. I like to hold my focus at the diaphragm. Uh, some people like to bring it into the heart center, but wherever it is for you, that's the space to be. And then uh, another thing there is that there's a knowing that comes from being inside. And that knowing is your own inner voice that is always writing itself. You know, do you remember the old punching bozos back in the day? You punch it and it bounces back up, punches it and it bounces back up. The inner self, the body, always wants to right itself. It always wants to come back into upright position. So um, when you come out of the mind into the body, into the self, and then begin to tap into your inner being, your higher self, your soul, your spirit, whatever you want to call it, simply by just focusing and continually drawing your attention inward, you start to become aware of this inner compass that wants to bounce back up. And it takes you to what is right for you. And oftentimes, whatever is wrong out there in the world rights itself once you come into what's right for you. But you have to be in that place within yourself for some time, for a kind of a minimum daily requirement before you start seeing it in the world. So uh, know that the answers aren't out there. And as you start coming in and finding answers in here, you'd start to discover also that there really aren't any problems out there either. But that gets that's somewhere down the road. You have to really be able to manage the thought process at that point. But for now, trust your own inner guidance. Trust your own inner silence that says that everything is okay, that everything is right. And sit in that, be in that. Practice it, I would say 5 days a week, 15 minutes a day. We just do a breathing, and we'll go through one right now. We breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Always in and out, only through the nose. Tongue to the roof of the mouth, just behind the front teeth. And we're breathing in, maybe a 2 count, pausing, maybe a 1 count, and then exhaling for perhaps a 4 count, and then a pause. So it's a longer exhale than inhale. And as you do this, close your eyes and follow the breath in, right down into the solar plexus. And feel the diaphragm as it moves up and down. And keep your focus there at the solar plexus, right in the center of the body. And when you breathe in, kind of bring that attention back down. And sometimes you notice as you exhale, the attention starts to waver. But on the inhale, bring the attention, the focus, your awareness, your consciousness in, and continually bring it in with the in-breath. And as you do that, keep your eyes closed and begin to visualize this container within. And make this container, the center of it, right around the solar plexus. And the container spans from the hip bones all the way up to the collarbones. And all you're going to do is witness this container expanding ever so slightly, growing tight, holding that tightness for just a moment, and then relaxing. And that's all you have to do. That's all you have to do for any meditation, is keep your awareness inside, inside the body, inside a place that maybe isn't the thinking part of yourself. And so the awareness grows inside. And there's a calm and there's always an ongoing healing that happens when you're inside because you're tapped into the body, and the body, like I say, is always trying to right itself. The spirit is always wanting to right you right everything, bring everything back. It's always pulling it back. Only the ego, only the problem solving mind, the problem creating and problem wanting mind is drifting away, pulling ourselves away from spirit, from calm, from awareness, from consciousness. So as you become more grounded, more rooted in this place, you'll notice that problems drift away. Problems don't center in the brain quite as much. There's less happening up here, and that's a good thing. It's a good thing that there's less happening, because too much happens up in the head. It creates situations that then turn the body's defense mechanisms on. The body starts spitting out cortisol, adrenaline, all these anxiety creating chemicals. When you're inside, you start to relax. These few triggers that I just showed you, the breathing out longer than the in, turns on the rest and relax mode. The breathing out longer than breathing in turns off the adrenals. The tongue at the roof of the mouth stimulates the sympathetic or the parasympathetic nervous system, the vagal nerve here. It's you'll notice all babies, they're always, that's their tongue at the roof of the mouth. That's that sucking motion. And that sucking motion is a continual self-soothing mechanism for the body. So it's helping the body return back to rest and relax. So anyway, this is what I have for you today. I really hope you put it to practice. I'll bring more as time goes on, and I might even actually create a meditation, a guided meditation, and I'll put it here on the channel here in a few days. And we'll start stacking them up, multiple guided meditations. And that's helpful because it babysits the mind so you can keep your consciousness focused inside. So have a wonderful day, and like, subscribe, all those things. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.